biggest and best song in the world. Tribute. Long time ago, me and my brother Kyle here, we was hitchhiking down a long and a lonesome road. All of a sudden, there shined a shiny demon in the middle of the road. And he said,
so welcome everyone to another edition of Real Talk. Can you guess what the movie is? Let's listen just a moment and see if you can guess.
We looked at each other and we each said, Tenacious!
Okay, and we played the first thing that came to our heads. Just so happened to be the best
Great song in the world!
It was the best song in the world. Look into my eyes and it's easy to see. 1 and 1 make 2, 2 and 1 make 3. It was destiny.
So such a great song, such a it takes me back. It takes me back. So if you all don't know, we're going to be speaking about Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny tonight on Real Talk. Before we get into the show, thank you for tuning in on 92.5 WLSD Radio, 1220 AM, or WLSDradio.com. If you want to follow along, you can go to all of our social media pages. That's the Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, The Other People's Show. But tonight, I'm very excited to have a friend with me in studio. You want to introduce yourself?
My name is Jeremiah the Bullfrog Freeman.
Yes.
This is my favorite movie. I have got through a lot of dark times with this movie. This movie has etched a stitch in my soul, man. I can't explain to anybody. I have since I was 13 years old. This movie, I have played it on repeat for probably 2 times a day, and this movie, it's got a very, very special place in my heart. And I just want to say, man, Jack Black, Kyle Gass, man, thank you all. I want to thank Ben Stiller. I want to thank Tim Robbins. I want to thank John C. Reilly, Amy Poehler, Colin Hanks, Amy Adams, Jason Segel, David Krumholtz, Fred Emerson. Man, you all made my life very worth living with this movie. It's been a very, very, very good journey for me since I heard this movie. From the soundtrack to the cast to the story in this whole movie, it's been great. And
I wish I could have
thank you all.
I wish I could have got Jack Black on the line to hear that, because that would probably really touch his heart.
I'd hope it would. And I bet you it would.
I bet it would, and I'll tell you why I think so a little later in the show. But Jeremiah's on here. He wanted to discuss Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny, which I had never watched before. So I do appreciate you bringing to the show a new film that I've not watched, because I've watched quite a few. I knew of Tenacious D, but it's kind of interesting because you were telling me right before the show that you found out about Tenacious D because of this movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. All right.
So take us back, and before we get in, how did you actually come about finding out about this movie?
Okay, so my sister introduced me to this movie when I was probably about 11 or 12 years old, man.
Okay.
And I didn't give this movie a chance because all I was interested in, listen, don't get me wrong, I love Iron Maiden, I love Megadeth, I love Metallica, Motley Crue, Skid Row, all them, but this band, man, it touched me in a different way. Like, I felt what they were talking about in this show and this movie, man. Like, I had no idea that I could relate to somebody so much, man. to where I would watch a movie over and over and over in a day's time.
Right.
Like this is, if you give me any other movie or any other show, I might watch it one time
And be done
this
with it.
movie, that's it. This movie, man, it touched my heart, dude, and I have made it a thing to learn every line of this movie. I know it from beginning to end.
Really?
Yeah, I know every line in
Okay.
it, dude. Every line from beginning to end. And I don't know why, but it just touched me, man. And
It just pulls you in, and you're just drawn to it.
Exactly, man. And it's a different kind of feeling, man. When you hear a song that, you know, pulls you in, it's one thing.
Right.
Whenever you get this connection with, you know, JB or KG,
Right.
like when you get a connection with a certain couple people or a certain one person, it pulls you in more because you're going to want to, you know, well, hell, you know, I like Kyle Gass and I like Jack Black.
Right.
But them as people, they pull me in to their movies and their music and everything and want me to want to listen more.
Right. Okay.
And-
So really, you have what'd you say, your sister?
Yeah, my sister.
She
So
kinda-
my sister was one that introduced me to it, and I didn't give it a chance. But sis kept telling me, you know, you need to.
So you were just saying, no, I'm not really into
Yeah.
that. So she was trying to get you to listen to the soundtrack first?
No, she was trying to get me to watch the movie.
Okay.
Okay, she was trying to get me to watch the movie at first. I don't think she even knew about
Tenacious D.
D.
Okay.
But she kept trying to get me to watch this movie, and she finally talked me into watching this movie, dude. And ever since then, dude, I have watched this movie on almost a daily basis, man. I want to be a part of this now.
Right.
Like it's not even like just wanting to learn Kyle Gass and Jack Black. I want to, like, I feel like, you know, I could make music like this
Right.
if able.
If given the
But-
chance to.
Yeah, but highly doubtful. But
No, you can
these
do that.
these guys saved rock and roll, man. Kyle Gass and Jack Black saved our genre, man, and I'm very thankful for them.
Well, see, it's funny. We'll get into it a little bit later as we discuss the movie. But there is a huge drummer and rock star that also plays a key part in this movie.
Dave Grohl.
Dave Grohl. Which going in, I'd read that his name and I knew who he played in the movie. But actually seeing him like that was really cool. So let's jump right in. To become the greatest band of all time, two slacker wannabe rockers set out on a quest to steal the legendary guitar pick that gives its holders incredible guitar skills from a maximum security rock and roll museum. So that pretty much sums up in a nutshell what the film is.
Yeah.
You know, you've got JB, Jables or KG,
Damn right.
and they're on this quest to become the greatest band in the world.
Ever.
But before they do that at first, they've got to get the guitar pick.
Exactly.
So, and then they have to go through these misadventures, you could say,
All right.
to obtain this guitar pick.
So whenever they first go to obtain this guitar pick, they run into a very fine actor, Ben Stiller.
yes, and but he's not Ben Stiller as people may have seen him.
Exactly.
He's got wild,
Which
crazy
is-
hair. And,
Yeah, which is great because who would see Ben Stiller as that kind of an actor?
me, I
Nobody.
didn't. No.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it was him until like the third or fourth time I watched the movie.
Right.
dude, and seen it in the
Like the credits.
Okay, so Ben Stiller, he's he's saying, this guy, Eddie, he flicks his guitar pick into the crowd, and he says it's a guy named Eddie. He flicks his guitar pick into the crowd. Dude catches it, masters this guitar skill, and a kid named Eddie catches it.
Right.
My bad. A kid named Eddie catches it, becomes the best guitar player in the world, which ends up being Eddie Van Halen.
Right.
All right, so after that, these guys are just going on a quest. They run into this guy named the Stranger on the show, which is Tim Robbins, and he tells them how to break into the
Rock and
museum.
Roll Museum.
Exactly.
Now,
So-
before we go that, you said you didn't realize, or somebody had said it, told you that it wasn't Tim Robbins.
It was. They said that it was Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell, that's right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
But how did they get Will Ferrell and Tim Robbins?
I don't know.
Because
I
they're
don't-
not. They don't even look.
alike.
No.
Yeah, it made no sense to me.
Had
man.
you seen? You said you'd recognize Tim Robbins from Mr. Griver.
Yes.
So was that the only thing that you'd seen him in before?
Only thing.
Really?
I have never seen him before that. Man.
Had you heard of his name before or no?
No.
Okay.
Even whenever I found out that he was the stranger in this movie, I didn't know that it was him.
So see, what's funny, what's even more of a joke also, is that Tim Robbins typically does serious movies.
Exactly.
So for him to do
Yeah.
a comedy was even funnier, and to play this kind of he's kind of a grotesque character, you know.
He was. Come over here.
Because his
I'm going
fingernails
to
are
stab
dirty
you.
and his teeth are kind of rotten, aren't they? He
Yeah.
can barely walk real.
Yeah.
You know, he's real slow.
He's walking around with a cane and
Yeah.
a hop leg. He's like,
And he's got that creepy voice.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That I always find it interesting when people, because I'd seen Tim Robbins in a couple of different things.
Right.
He's in a great movie called Jacob's Ladder. I would recommend that. We did that on the show last year.
okay.
And if you've ever
Never seen
seen, did you watch the short film that I made called In Dreams?
oh, I watched 2 or 3 episodes. Of
Okay.
it. I didn't get to watch the whole thing.
So In Dreams is kind of based loosely on the idea of Jacob's Ladder, the movie.
No kidding.
So obviously they do a better job because they have more money.
The only thing I seen was where Lena was going into her house and she kept acting like she heard somebody like creeping around in
Right.
her house or outside.
Yeah, the tiny house.
Yeah,
The tiny house.
yeah. That's the only thing I ever got from
Okay.
that, man.
Yeah, we unfortunately I was going to rent that tiny house. This is a side note, rent that tiny house again. It was in Knoxville. Went to look to get it Airbnb again. They're not renting it out. It was
No kidding.
Have you been in a tiny house before?
I haven't.
Oh, they're so cool. It's so cool. It's one of the coolest things ever. I'm wanting to build maybe a 3-year plan, a tiny house.
Do it.
Because that's all you need. I mean, unless you have a lot, you know, a lot of big house, big family, that's all you need.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
But so the director is a guy named Liam Lynch. Now, I don't know if you've heard of him, but he directed a lot of Tenacious D
Yeah,
videos.
Tim Lynch. Yeah.
And he also had a song called United States of Whatever. So we'll play. Have you heard of that one before? All right,
I
this is
couldn't say I have.
okay. This is it. Liam Lynch, and he's the director of this movie.
I went down to the beach and saw Kiki. She was all like, and I'm like, whatever.
I feel like I could surf to that.
And this chick comes up to me and she's all like, hey, aren't you that dude? I'm like, yeah, whatever.
I am.
Had you heard this before?
Later, I'm
I
at the
haven't.
pool hall and this girl comes up.
That's
she's all
great,
like,
dude.
And I'm like, yeah, whatever. 'Cause this is my United States of whatever. And this is my United States of whatever.
It's only a 1.5-minute song, so we'll listen to it.
This is
Heck
my
yeah.
United States of whatever. And then it's 3 a.m. I'm on the corner wearing my leather. This dude comes up and he's like, hey, punk. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Oh, no way. He didn't say whatever again. There
Then
wasn't
I'm
no
throwing
way.
dice in the alley. Officer Leroy comes up and he's like, hey, I thought
Whatever.
I told you. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then up comes Zaffo. I'm like, yo, Zaffo, what's up? He's like, "Done." I'm like, that's cool.
Whatever.
This is my United States or whatever. And this is my United States or whatever.
Love it.
So the director of Tenacious D, That's his song, Whatever.
So, wait a minute. The director of Tenacious D made that song?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's him
Yeah.
singing?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
pretty impressed.
Liam Lynch, he had a whole album.
No kidding.
So a little side note. So that song came out in like probably 2003 or so. So we used to play it on the old radio show, but we also put it on the songs that would play at the movie theater. So sometimes when
Yeah.
people would be sitting in there, they would hear these random songs, and that happened to be one of them. So he directed. That was his song, and he also directed Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny.
Of course.
He co-wrote all the songs in the movie with
Yeah.
Jack Black and Kyle.
Very
and he
good
also
songs.
wrote and was the music consultant on the movie School of Rock, if you've seen that
No
movie.
kidding.
Yeah, which is another Jack Black
Wow.
movie.
Yeah, of course, man. That's what got me started on Jack Black.
School of
Yeah.
Rock. It's a good one. It's a good one, and it's a real fun movie as well. And I love that it's musical is also. So we have a great cast. You named a lot earlier. We got Jack Black, Kyle Gass, Dave Grohl, Meatloaf, Ben Stiller, Tim Robbins, John C. Reilly, Amy Poehler, Colin Hanks, Amy Adams, Jason Segel, David Krumholtz, and Fred Armisen, among many others too. But that's just actually, Jason
That's a
Segel and
snippet.
David Krumholtz, they're in a deleted scene.
Yep.
Because I was like, I don't remember seeing them. But if people don't know, I actually do a little bit of research on the show.
That's great, dude.
But this has some pretty interesting facts.
It really does.
So until this film, Meatloaf, and how did you come to know Meatloaf? Through his music or his acting?
Meatloaf, Bad Out of Hell, man.
Okay.
That album, dude, it gave me, dude, when I heard that album, man, actually not even the album, just the song, dude, Bad Out of Hell.
Yeah.
Dude, it gave me a lot of inspiration to what I do with music now. This guy, man, my papaw, sorry papaw, I know you're probably listening, but my papaw got in my mama's vehicle and ripped a CD right in half because he didn't like Meatloaf because it had the word hell in it. My papaw cusses like a sailor, bro, but he couldn't handle him saying hell in one of his songs.
Well, once when I was younger, we had I was listening to this. I used to listen to rap when I was younger.
Oh, me too.
And my stepdad, the song had been playing maybe, I don't know, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And he pressed eject because it was a cassette, rolled down the window, and threw the tape out the window.
If your papaw didn't do that, you didn't have a good papaw.
Oh, this was my stepdad.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry.
So here was the song. Let's see if it'll play. It's by this artist named Candyman.
Candyman.
Yeah.
I've never heard of him.
Yeah, we'll just play a little bit of it.
Let's see it.
The Candyman is on the prowl. And for those that want to get busy, you got to speak up now. This rhyme, this time is one of a kind, blowing your mind like only the
That's some
Candyman
old school.
can. Like a heavyweight champion.
I'll tell you when he cut it off.
Another bout without a doubt. Once again, you can scream and shout. When I rock the bells, yell out my name.
And then he cut it off, ejected it, and threw it out the window. It wasn't even at a bad part. I was like, what? I just bought that tape. Years later, I happened to find it at a Magic Mart for like $2. And out of nostalgic reasons, I purchased it again, although
Well,
I
of
didn't have a
course.
cassette tape player.
Good deal.
But yeah.
I'm
So yeah,
glad you
I've had some things thrown out the window
Oh, man.
as well.
I'm sorry, dude.
But Meatloaf, I don't know if you know, but he has been in. He was in Fight Club.
Oh, yeah.
He was in Spice World, the Spice Girls movie.
Yep.
And this is a good one that he's known for. But he accepted the movie because he thought that his appearance in the
Yeah.
he thought it'd ruin him.
Yep.
But what's funny is if you notice during the early scenes where he's a kid, JB's a kid, and
Yeah.
Meatloaf comes in and he starts ripping things off the wall.
Yeah.
One of the things that he rips off the wall is like a Bat Out of Hell poster, or
poster.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a fun
That
little
is
Easter
really
egg.
cool. He rips everything off but a Dio poster when he slammed the
On
door.
the back of the door.
Yeah, when he slammed the door, Dio started singing to him.
Yep.
Dio, can't you hear me? I'm lost and so alone.
That's exactly
I'm
what he
asking
says.
for your guidance. Would you come down from your throne?
So the next fact kind of goes to what you were when I said earlier in the show that he would appreciate your sentiments, because I'd watched a featurette and Jack Black, after the failure financially of this film, he said it hurted his ego.
Right.
And he said it was really hard for him to think that he would be able to write another movie.
Yeah.
And he lost a lot of his confidence, and he vowed never to put himself out there again.
Right.
And I don't know if he's completely written a movie. I mean, obviously he had co-writers, but I don't know if he's really put himself that much into a movie since this one.
He
Other
has.
than just acting or,
Well,
things like this.
I don't think it was necessarily acting. I think it was music and acting in general. He didn't want to put himself out there to be embarrassed
Right.
by, he wanted to be at the top of a role. He didn't want to just make something that, didn't make sense, which kind of makes no sense to me, because he ends up becoming, he was only in the movie for probably a minute,
Yeah.
and he never showed back up after that.
Right.
After the beginning scene. Never heard about his dad, never
No.
heard about his mom, his brother, nobody. But he comes back to make this movie. This was probably the last big role that he had before he, passed away.
Passed away. When
God
did he
rest his
pass
soul.
away? Just a couple years back?
It was like 3 years ago,
Okay.
I want to say.
I thought it was like, not a long time ago, relatively recent.
Yeah.
Another interesting fact is the F word is used in this movie 106 times.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
Now I found that out the hard way. I counted them all.
Yeah.
I had a little notepad, and each time I heard it, I marked it down.
Good.
Well, no, I got to be
Did
honest.
your
I
pen
didn't.
run out of ink?
It did. Other than Pulp Fiction, this is one of the most, most
It's vulgar.
used. Yeah.
It's vulgar.
As we mentioned earlier, Dave Grohl, who appears
Yep.
as Satan,
Satan.
also played Satan in the video for the song Tribute, which is referred to in the film. He also played on the Tenacious D's self-titled album as well,
Tenacious D, yeah.
which is a fun.
Yes,
it's a
he
really
did.
great album.
And you want to know something even crazier? He was actually supposed to be their main drummer, but he got Foo Fighters back together, and they came back for their reunion tour. So now he doesn't need Tenacious D basically. So he's back on tour. He's drumming and singing
Right.
for Foo Fighters now, which I respect that, but kind of in a way, man, I wish they would have made a Pick of Destiny Part 2, because
Right.
it ended with the BOD.
Yeah.
I don't guess I can say that on air, but
Yeah, probably not.
the BOD, that was how the movie ended.
Right.
It should have had a prologue, dude. Should have. It deserves it.
I think so too. So let's see. When KG leaves the college party and he's
Right.
walking down the steps,
Yep.
he gets hit in the head with a plastic cup.
Yep.
The guy who throws the cup is Colin Hanks.
Yep.
Colin Hanks was Jack Black's co-star in the movie Orange County.
Orange County,
if you've
yep.
ever seen.
Exactly.
And that was one of the first times I'd seen Jack Black in. I'd seen him in smaller roles. He was in an episode. I don't know if you've heard of the show, The X-Files.
Oh, yeah.
He was in an episode of The X-Files.
Didn't know that.
He was in the movie called Waterworld.
Didn't know that either. I've never seen that.
He was in the Jim Carrey movie The Cable Guy.
What?
Yeah.
Where at?
Now have you seen The Cable Guy quite a few times?
I've seen it.
Okay, so Matthew Broderick,
Yeah.
So he plays Matthew Broderick's friend, and it's the friend. It's the friend that
Oh my
that
gosh.
invites him to play basketball, and then invites
Yep.
him to a concert. But Matthew Broderick says,
No.
I can't go.
Yep.
And then he's like, well,
Oh
maybe
my
I'll just take
gosh.
my cable guy. That's Jack Black, just with a little bit shorter hair.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'd seen Jack Black because that's a small role.
Yeah.
And then I'd heard about Tenacious D around that time, and then Jack Black. So there used to be a show on MTV called Fanatic. I don't know if you remember that show.
Yeah, I remember that.
So one time Ben Stiller was dressed up as Bruce Springsteen,
Oh my god.
and he was going to go visit. He was Puff Daddy at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So Puff Daddy was Bruce Springsteen was Puff Daddy's Fanatic in the
Right.
sketch. So when Ben Stiller as Bruce Springsteen goes and meets Puff Daddy, Jack Black happens to be with Ben Stiller in that sketch, and he's running around acting crazy.
Yeah.
So
Dude
he
running
pops
in
up.
circles.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Yep. So he pops up in a little, and something else you may know or may not know. Tenacious D had 3 episodes of a show.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And,
their show. Yeah. I know.
And it's a where they get into that like phone booth.
Yep.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That was like the beginning of the series, basically.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
They get into a phone booth and they go on this little
Adventure.
extravaganza.
Yeah. So the budget of the movie was $20 million, which
Wow.
which is 2007. So that is what 17 years ago.
Oh
So
gosh.
that would probably, and that's crazy to think that long ago too.
2000
So the movie made 8.3 million in America, worldwide 13.9. So financially, initially it wasn't a success, but after streaming, DVD sales, merchandise,
YouTube, Hulu.
yeah, it's made some money.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes had it at 52%. Audience scores higher at 67, and IMDb, which is the Internet Movie Database, 6.8.
I have to disagree with Rotten Tomatoes. I will give you that. Audience score, I'm working with the 67% on audience score, but 52 from Rotten Tomatoes, man, they need to do it a little bit better.
Yeah,
I believe that Rotten Tomatoes could have rated them about a 58 or 60.
Well, see, I think a lot of these critics, when they go into watching movies, they'll watch a serious movie and review it the same way as they review a comedy.
A comedy.
Which you
exactly.
can't. You can't do that.
No.
Because
no.
you can't. I mean, this is not a serious movie. It's
Yeah,
a fun,
you're not taking it
entertaining
serious.
movie, and you can't really
Ain't
judge
right.
it by the same merits as an
As
Oscar
exactly.
winning movie.
Like something like San Andreas. That's like comparing San Andreas to the Pick of Destiny. You can't do that.
No, it's different kind of.
Yeah.
Or you would say, well, or like comparing it to a Halloween Ends or a Halloween Kills.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not the same kind of thing.
No, it's not.
So we got a little bit of the plot and the story. You want to walk us through a little bit of that? So
All right. So you want me to walk you through the plot of the movie?
sure, because you know
All
it. I know it, but you watched it a couple times a day for a while. So
All right,
I've only
so-
watched it once.
All right.
And
so
a half.
a
Once
long
and a half.
time ago, in a town called Kickapoo, there lived a humble family, religious through and through. But yea, there was a black sheep, and he knew just what to do. His name was young JB, and he refused to step in line. A vision he did see it, rocking all the time. Exactly.
You knew. Well, you do know this.
Yes.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you all don't know, he's not reading off of anything. He knows this
No,
dialogue.
I know every bit of it. I just can't cuss.
Here it is, right there. What you were
Lived a
saying.
humble family, religious through and through. And yeah, there was a black sheep, and he knew just what to do. His name was young JB, and he refused to step in line. A vision he did see it, rocking all the time. And he wrote a tasty jam, and all the planets did align. Ah. Oh, the dragon's balls were blazing as I was in his cake.
You know it. You
With
know
a
that.
long and shiny blade.
So, although, and this is a positive note, although Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny, upon initial release, wasn't a success, their album debuted at number 8.
Yeah.
And it was a success. And that goes back to what you were talking about.
A success.
Right.
It was, it was expected to be a failure. Even Jack Black, Meatloaf, KG, they all knew it was going to be a failure. But it ended up being one of the, saviors of our music, dude. Like stuff that we listen to, stuff that we wanted to hear as, you know, not even as kids, but just as humans in general, man. Like they all connect with us.
Right.
And JB and Kyle Gass, man, I have a feeling that they're on the same page as us. They're not, you know, like Iron Maiden or
Right.
Metallica or Megadeth. They're you know, Season of the Witch. They're Wind Rider. They're you know, bands like around here that are just local, trying to make it big,
Right.
man. And these guys deserve a chance. And you know, Tenacious D, man, they've got a good thing going, and I really hope that they keep coming out with stuff, whether it's music or movies or just a short series. I hope they keep writing, man.
Well, they put out, I don't know if you saw, the most recent thing I saw is they did a cover of the Baby Hit Me One More Time. Did you see that?
I did.
Or listen to it as well?
It's great, dude.
Yeah, I saw
It's
it
great.
a couple of days,
Britney
about a week
Spears.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was kind of fun. So we went through the plot pretty much,
Right.
and because I don't want to give the spoilers, I don't want to give everything
Yeah,
away, because
yeah,
this is a movie
yeah.
that, you know, it's very
Everybody
similar.
needs to see it.
Was either trying to win a talent show, right? Is that what they're trying to do
Tenacious D?
in the movie? Is that or Battle of the Bands?
Okay, no, they're trying to defeat the devil. Okay, so you know, Dave Grohl's the devil.
Right.
Okay, they're trying to defeat the devil. That's their whole thing. All right, so whenever they meet the devil at the Battle of the Bands, they go out back. They're like, "Oh, we can't beat these guys. They're too good." They just walk out back, and they end up battling the devil out back of this venue.
That's
they're in.
true.
All right, so
And it's a good duel.
yeah, it is. It's a great duel. But Kyle Gass at the beginning of the movie, he bought JB that guitar with his rent money.
Yep.
That royalty check he was supposed to be getting, but
Yeah.
it ended up coming from his mom.
His mother.
Pumpkin.
Yep.
Pumpkin. Hey, Pumpkin. Yeah, so he ends up, there's a lightning bolt on his guitar at the bottom of it. At the end of the movie, JB jumps in front of Kyle Gass because JB really sold Kyle Gass out to the devil.
Right.
He was like, "Oh, if we don't win, you can have him."
Take him.
Yeah. So he jumps in front of the devil when he shoots a lightning bolt, and the lightning bolt refracts off of it refracts off the lightning bolt off of his guitar, and it comes back and hits the devil in the tooth, breaks his tooth off. And that's where they got breaks his horn off, breaks his horn off, and that's where they got the BOD.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So yeah, so how many? If you had to guess how many times you've seen this movie, would you say 100?
Dude, probably
more?
like 200. Dude.
Really?
I watched that movie so many times, man. It's a great movie.
Now, there used to be a movie that I did like that called. There's been a couple, but Cabin Fever. I don't know if you've ever.
I love Cabin Fever.
Now, there was a
dude.
point where I watched Cabin Fever every day for probably about a year. So I can.
I'm sorry,
I can,
dude. That's God Almighty. That's a vicious movie.
It is.
Dude.
It is. It's a very vicious movie. And all the characters, like the characters in this, we've got, like we've said a few times, Jack Black as Jables or JB, and KG. We've got Dave Grohl as Satan.
Yep.
Meatloaf as Bud Black.
Yep.
Ben Stiller as the guitar center guy, which is weird. That's where I purchased my guitar that was smashed at Guitar Center. That's where I
Oh,
purchased it
man.
from. Yeah. So,
I'm sorry,
yeah,
dude.
you've seen the guitar in the video, the black one that I
Yeah.
played.
Dude, that sucks. That was a good guitar.
It was a
man.
good guitar. That was a guitar when I was first establishing my credit. I was like, I'm going to buy a guitar, pay it off.
Yep.
I'd paid it off in about, I don't know.
Oh, that's how you were trying to just like establish your credit.
Yeah,
Oh man.
at first. Yeah. I mean, not the only way, but that's because I had.
it was a start.
Yeah, because the guitar was expensive enough where I made payments on it.
Exactly.
And it got smashed. It's
Dude,
okay
that
though.
ain't cool.
No, it's not
That ain't
cool.
cool.
And I haven't owned a guitar since then, so I need to.
I'm sorry.
I am too. It hurts my soul talking about it. So, what would be your favorite scene in this movie? Do you have a favorite scene?
My favorite scene would probably have to be where he was sneaking through the air vents, man.
Okay.
At the end of the movie, and
Right.
he said, well, there's a lot of cuss words in that, but he ends up getting through the air vents, and he gets into the museum. He gets up there, and he ended up having to deactivate the laser with his helmet head.
Yes. Now, that was actually, I didn't see that part coming at first.
Nobody did.
And
Who would?
that was one of my favorite scenes. And I do like the scene also, this is near the end, spoiler alert, when they have gotten away with getting the pick.
Yeah.
And then they're home free. The police officer spots the tail light. They pull over, and then all of a sudden they're in a big chase. And then who is
Colin
it?
Hanks.
The pizza delivery guy sees
Yeah.
them on TV.
Yep.
And then they're calling, and I thought that was
yeah.
I thought that was a really
Are
fun
you
scene.
guys okay?
Yeah.
And
He's
it
like, yeah,
looks
we're just
they're
watching
playing
a
video
yeah.
game.
And so I thought that was a really fun scene as
Great.
well.
It was, dude.
What about a least favorite? Do you have a least favorite
My
scene?
least favorite scene would probably, oh man, I would have to say my least favorite scene would be when, probably when he was getting his butt busted by his dad at the beginning.
Okay.
And he didn't deserve that.
Right, right.
You know.
And they did a good job at casting
Yeah.
that little kid because that looked like a little kid version.
Did you know that little kid became a very, very famous child actor? I don't know his name. I'm sorry. I should have looked it up. But that kid became, he became very big on a show probably like 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to look that up afterwards because I thought when I saw that I was like, they've done a good job with the casting.
They have.
Even with Meatloaf as his dad, very believable.
God rest his soul.
Yeah, yeah. Now, did you see Meatloaf in Fight Club? Did you say?
Yeah, yeah.
And that really surprised a lot of people as well.
It would. I would hope it would. Why
Yeah.
would you expect to see Meatloaf in a movie like that? Fight
You
Club?
You wouldn't, not at all.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of my least favorite scene. It's not even a least favorite scene. I felt sad when originally when Jack Black is seeing Kyle perform on the side, and Kyle's kind of mean to him to begin with, and then later on when he gets his that wig ripped off,
Yep.
I felt bad for Kyle.
I did
because
too,
it
dude.
flashes back to where he's getting teased as a kid.
Yep. I know, man. That was so rude.
Because he was bald as a kid, wasn't he? Was that what it was?
Yeah. Dude, he was bald from like the time he was 4. He
Yeah.
was walking through there with his little lunchbox.
Yeah.
Trotting
So that wasn't a
along.
least favorite scene, but that was a scene that made me a little bit bad for him.
No kidding.
And something else that I read, and it made me a little upset, but it made me glad that Jack Black stood up for Kyle. So when they
Yeah.
were going to promote the movie,
Right.
they were going to go on to show David Letterman's show.
Okay.
And David Letterman's people, it wasn't Dave specifically,
Yeah, just his
didn't
people.
want
Yeah.
Kyle on the show because he wasn't a big enough name as Jack Black. So Jack Black was like, if Kyle's not coming on
That's
the
his
show,
guitarist.
then I'm not coming on the show. And then they were like,
Kyle is Jack.
Yeah.
Like Tenacious D, bro.
so Jack Black was just like, I like that he stood his ground. If Kyle's not coming on, I'm not doing the show.
Good for
They
him.
let Kyle on. And after that, I don't even know if I would have done the show again.
I wouldn't.
You don't
have.
want my partner on my friend and my partner
Yeah.
to be, on the
He
show.
helped me just as, dude. His name's just as big as mine. He helped me get big too. You
And
know?
Kyle helped Jack Black learn more of guitar as well. I read.
Oh yeah.
So that was really a cool thing that I didn't know about the movie beforehand. Score music, we've talked about the music throughout.
I'm gonna have to give it a 7 out of 10. It's great.
Here's the car chase. Oh, that was a little bit of the car chase, wasn't it? Let's see.
Car chase is where they're in the car. Yep, that's it. Car Chase City. Yeah.
Yeah, Car Chase City.
Love it.
Isn't that what he says they're watching? Car Chase City 3?
Yeah, they're playing that game. You remember the game they were playing at the beginning of the movie?
Yeah.
where JD
So that's
was
what they're saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. They're
I'd-
playing the same game in the same car, dude, basically. A Cutlass Supreme.
I'd forgotten that was the
Yeah.
game now that you mentioned it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the soundtrack, if you love Tenacious D or like rock and roll or just this kind of a music,
look
you're
'em
really...
up. I can't do that.
Now, what do you think about the originality of this movie?
The originality, I would have to... Damn, I'd have to give that a 9 out of 10. man.
Right.
Like, that. The originality... Tell me another movie that's like this one. Besides Trick or Treat.
Oh, you know what? Somebody mentioned Trick or Treat to me last night.
That is a great movie, dude. With
I haven't-
Fastway.
yeah, I haven't
Fastway.
watched it.
Dude, you've
I've seen the
got to
preview,
watch
but I've
that.
never watched it.
Oh my gosh, man.
That might be one to do in the
Dude.
future then. Trick or
Dude,
Treat.
yeah, let's do it, man. I know every line in that movie too.
All right.
Dude, that is a great movie, man. I can't believe you haven't watched that.
Yeah,
That was before my time, bro.
I remember seeing, honestly, as a kid, I remember going to the video store. Well, they had DVDs as well, and I saw the cover, and it
Ozzy
always
Gene Simmons.
yeah. Have you ever seen the D. Snyder movie called Strangeland?
I have not.
Have you heard of it before?
I have not.
It's early days of the
Twisted
internet.
Sister.
Yeah. D. Snyder.
Okay.
It's called D. Snyder's Strangeland, and he
Okay.
plays someone that is talking to people online. It was when that
Okay.
first started, but he ends up. I've not seen the movie, but it looks like he kidnaps them and possibly tortures them. So it's called
D does?
in the movie.
Oh man.
Yeah, Strangeland. It's
Yeah,
called.
I'm
It's
gonna-
it's actually called D. Snyder's Strangeland.
We'll need to watch that one.
So yeah, I've never seen it. I'd
Do
rented
real
movies when I
talk.
was younger, and it was always on. I've seen the trailer a lot of times.
Heck yeah.
What about the poster? Have you seen the poster to this movie? There's a couple different ones. There's one where they're reenacting that gods in the cloud sky where they're touching
yeah, where
fingers.
they're touching fingers. Yeah, that's
Uh,
on the original album.
And Deadpool had a poster that was kind of doing that same pose. If a couple Deadpool.
Oh,
Part
Deadpool.
two.
Yeah, I've
Um,
seen that.
And then there was another Pick of Destiny poster, which is the one I posted and tagged you in as well. There's a couple of different posters.
Where they're reaching for the pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think the posters represent Tenacious D really well.
Yeah,
And the
they did a
movie
good job.
itself. So they're pretty good. So in the closing moments, would you recommend the Pick of Destiny? Why or why not?
Okay, so I'm going to recommend The Pick of Destiny, not just because it's my favorite movie ever, but because if you're a metalhead and you haven't watched this movie, you are missing out. And if you're not a metalhead and you haven't watched this movie and you can handle a little bit of cussing and a little bit of dirtiness, not
Right.
much, watch it.
It's all
I
in good
pro-
fun, though.
It is. It's all in good fun. Just watch it. Give it a chance. If your friends have been telling you to watch this movie, I know everybody listening to this station right now, somebody's recommended this movie to them. Watch it. I promise you, you will not regret it. You can have a laugh without being offended. That's what we need right now.
It is what we need. And I would say that's a good way to wrap it up and say it is that if you want to escape from your everyday life, you don't want to worry about the news or
Exactly.
worry about the bad things going on. You
Have
can
a
go,
laugh.
Yeah, go have a laugh. And this kind of is like last week we did Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Exactly.
This week, Pick of Destiny. So
Good movies.
yeah, do
dude.
some musical movies with Jack Black, Kyle Gass. Check out Tenacious D also.
Get some
And,
good music in y'all's life, guys. That's what everybody needs right now. If you ain't got a good musician or a good song, even just give it a try. Give Tenacious D a try. Give the Pick of Destiny a try. Give anything that you have never listened to, whether it's country, rock, rap, whatever. Give it a try. You never know what you're gonna like.
No, you never do. So, Jeremiah, thank you for being on the show tonight.
Absolutely,
You're going to stick
bro.
around for the other people's show?
Absolutely, man.
right.
I'll be right here.
So, everyone, thank you for tuning in to Tenacious D in the Pick of Destiny on 92.5 WLSD, WLSDradio.com. If you want to go to our social media pages, that's the Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Jeremiah, thank you once again for being on the show. We will be right back in just a moment.